Hi, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe, and this is your weekly wisdom for November 29th through December 5th. I'm going to pull cards for each sign because we have a full moon in Gemini with a lunar eclipse happening on Monday, November 30th in most parts of the world. Some parts it's November 29th, later tonight. I did write a blog on expressionsoftheuniverse.com explaining everything, giving the time zones for all around the world. It's the opening of a portal of magic that will take us all the way through the grand conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter moving into Aquarius on the winter solstice. So it's really important. I put so much into the blog. I'm not going to take up your time explaining everything in this video, although I know a lot of you like the videos, some of you like the blogs. What I want you to do is pay attention to where Gemini and Sagittarius fall in your personal natal birth charts, because that's where the biggest impact will be. If you are a Gemini sun, Gemini rising, Gemini moon, or you have a lot of planets in Gemini, that's where there's going to be, I guess, the biggest shift, the biggest changes. I do have my notes. This was a really big one. So the moon in Gemini will be at 8 degrees. It will be in the 8th house. So that indicates to me that endings are coming, transformations are coming. And I was taking a look at this, and it's been almost a 20-year cycle that we're in the midst of. It's actually like a 19-year sorrow cycle. It kicked off with the finality of an eclipse in a Taurus moon back in May of 2000. And I put key dates in the blog because I want you to go back and think of what happened to you during these specific years. And I do have them right here. And at least I thought I did. Yeah, so it kicked off into 2000, say. But 2001 was a poignant year. Then June of 2002, 2011 kicked off another solar eclipse that brought about big changes. 2019, this year, we had 2 eclipses in Gemini, I believe. And then it's going to finish up with an eclipse in June of 2021. The North Node will be in Gemini until January 18th of 2022. Went into Gemini May of this year. It's probably one of the longest cycles that I can ever remember having, and of a North Node cycle. So I explain what it is we're releasing. We're doing a lot of releasing with Neptune going direct yesterday in Pisces. We're seeing things more clearly. Reality is showing itself with that North Node in Gemini, the lunar eclipse. A lot of truth is going to come out, but we're really having to change our perception. And I just go into detail with everything in my blog. So I hope you get a chance and check that out. I will post that in my link tree for Instagram. I'll post it on Facebook, but it's also at expressionsoftheuniverse.com. And then we will have a solar eclipse with the new moon in Sagittarius 2 weeks from now on December 14th. And it just keeps going from there. And then the grand conjunction on December 21st, the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. And what I want you to all pay attention to, if you've noticed Jupiter and Saturn in the sky over the last year, they are coming together. So they've been in the sky like this. All right. Well, they're coming together and they're going to be conjuncting, which is right next to each other, and they're going to be making what it'll appear to be one huge, beautiful planet. It'll be like the brightest star in the sky. I think it will be incredible. If you've seen Venus in the morning sky right before the sun comes up, she's always gorgeous, but I think it's even going to be bigger and brighter than that. I can't wait. I'm anticipating, and I hope that I get some really good pictures. Anything else that I can touch on? So with this full moon in Gemini being in the 8th house, the sun will be in the 2nd house of values and the things that we value. Sun will be in Sagittarius, of course. So think about that with the houses. The 1st house, you know, just generally. So if the 1st house would be Capricorn, at that alignment. And so that would be about the self, taking care of the self. I'm sorry, not Capricorns. That would be Scorpio. Scorpios, you're really going to be taking care of yourselves. Then Sagittarius in the 2nd house, it's about the things we value. Capricorn will be in the 3rd house. So here we have communications again, and it's siblings, and it's the neighborhood, and it's our technology as well, and small trips may be needed, you know, short trips, local trips, you know, not leaving the country, but, you know, road trips. Yes, I couldn't think of the word. And I think that that theme came up quite a bit for Capricorns, or at least a few Capricorns that I know of. All right, so then Aquarius, 4th house. It's home, it's family, it's roots. Father figures, you know, also the things that stay in the home, the things that we don't reveal to the world. Pisces will be in the 5th house, so that is creativity, it's children, passion, relationships, having fun, finding your inner child. Aries, you'll be in the 6th house. So to me, that says take care of your health, take care of your habits. There's going to be some habits that you need to break. I think for all of us, actually, we're breaking a lot of habits. Taurus, you will be in the 7th house, so that will be about your relationships. It's also known enemies. It's your partnerships, whether it's business or love or friendship. And so then that leads me to Gemini with the 8th house. That's endings, death, transformation. So something big is happening. Lunar eclipses reveal things that were not previously able to be seen or known. So that brings things out into the light. Cancer will be the 9th house. So that's expansion, education, furthering education, learning something new. It's also traveling to foreign lands or learning a foreign language. It's also expansion on your spirituality. And I'm not going to say religion, which would typically be 9th house, because these full moon and new moon with the lunar and solar eclipses are asking us to release old dogma, old religion, old regimes. So you're expanding into something new territory, Cancers. Leos, you're going to be focused on career. A lot of you focused on the motherhood. This is also how people see you, like your status in the world or what they know you by career-wise. So that is going to get a boost. Then we have Virgos. You'll be expanding or contracting on your friendships. Some old friendships are going away. Some new ones will be coming in. So these are the places where changes are happening. And then last but not least, Libra, you'll be in the 12th house. That's hidden enemies, institutions. It is tapping into spirituality. Karma may come back and bite the Libras in the ass. So yeah, those are just the basic themes. What you really want to do is take a look and see where Gemini and Sagittarius wind up in your chart, because that's where the biggest changes will be. And if you know anything about astrology, calculate out any squares or trines or oppositions to that sun and moon, and you'll see where things may be happening for you. These eclipses are only opening up this portal of what is going to be a 1.5 year transit until that portal closes in June of 2021. So that's where the changes take place. Think back to those dates. If you need those dates, they're in my blog, those years. And you really want to take a look at, think about, because when I look at those dates, I can remember like getting promotions, different things happening to me, like the first step in a new direction. I can also remember it's like the beginning of the end. My life greatly changed after those time periods, but when I look back in hindsight, I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for those changes. All right, so let me pull the cards for the week. And I'm just sitting back relaxing because boy, I'm tired. I've been working like 2 men and a boy, and I'm going to take a nap after this. All right. So the card that will come in for this full moon, it'll be the Monday, Tuesday card. It is the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. And I love that because I think we're really going to have to steep ourselves in gratitude, even for the shitty things. You know, it's so easy to be grateful for all the wonderful things in our lives, but we have to start to really try and see a different perception. This time period is about duality and seeing both sides of everything. So even finding gratitude for the things that we would perceive as being horrible. And this says, oh, you know, I need these. Selflessness, humility, and conscious action. So I love that. The Lord of Gratitude and Service, being grateful and being helpful, being kind, being compassionate. That's really what this is about, this time frame that we're moving into. The card that will come in for Wednesday, Thursday, I love it. And I'm glad this came up because it'll remind me to tell you. It is the resting tree. It's really time for all of us to take a big rest, slow it down, because this lunar eclipse that's happening on November 30th and the solar eclipse on December 14th are really going to drain our energy big time. And the more aspects that you have in Gemini, pay attention to your health. You will definitely, all of us need to get a lot of rest, a lot of sleep. Don't bite off more than you can chew, because it will be extremely draining, and we all have to really pay attention to our health right now. So please take the time to rest. This also says patience and stillness. And it's like we're in this holding pattern, but it will be so important for us to take a good respite and preserve our energy. And then the card that will come in for Friday and the following weekend will be, the Dragon's Duel. And that's really what's going on between the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. We're trying to release all of the attributes of that South Node in Sagittarius. I do write a little bit about that. I think I'll highlight more of that come the solar eclipse and new moon in Sagittarius 2 weeks from now. But this says inner conflict, more morality, and conscious choice. And it's interesting. So you see how what this dragon looks like. It almost reminds me of the North and South Node. And I've written about it before, you know, the head of the dragon being where we need to be pointing to, The tail of the dragon is where we crap, and we don't want to be eating from there. So that's why we need to be pointing towards the North Node. But this inner conflict and the morality, the conscious choice, that duality, it really speaks about what is going on right now, and how so many righteous and pious and hubris people uprising and judging. And that's not what this energy is about. It's about coming together regardless of the judgments that we're putting on people as far as moral values are concerned, values in general. So that's, where the sun is sitting for this lunar eclipse. We don't have to agree with everybody to try and understand what they're about. I know some people will beg to differ, but this is really about unity, and I've said it before. I'm going to continue to say it. Now, let me pull cards for each sign. You're going to want to take a look at your sun sign, your rising ascendant sign, and your moon sign. And if you need to pull a chart for yourself, you can go to astro.com. You plug in your birth data and your chart comes up. Voila. And there you go. All right, I'm just going to take from the top. Aries, sun signs, rising signs, and moons. You have the cosmos. It's creativity and vastness. So this would be an expansion on your creativity and vastness. We're going to pair that with the 6th house. This is also just talking about your daily routines and the work that you do. And really having an open mind to new possibilities that you're currently not thinking of. Overthinking what your possibilities are, and that's closing off that cosmos, that vastness, because you can't think of all the options that are available to you. So just be open to anything that comes through. Taurus, I love this, sacred union, and this goes perfectly with that 7th house alignment of partnerships, love, romance. And it says partnership and romance. So there is going to be a double highlight for the Taurus suns, risings, and moons when it comes to that 7th house of partnerships, and whether they be business, friendship, or romantic. Gemini, this is the altar priestess, and it's preparation, prayer, and sacred ritual. And I love that. So just remember, preparation for some big changes that are coming. I also point out in my blog that we should all take a moment to write our own personal affirmation and intention, and also write down anything that you wish to release, and then go burn it. Just let it go. Cancers. Ooh, I love it. It's the Phoenix, and that goes perfect with the 9th house, with expanding and expansion for you. And this is a resurrection and a surrender to change. So Cancer suns, risings, and moons, you've been going through a lot of change over the last 2 years. There's been so much highlight on the Cancers, and now that that energy has pulled off, it enables you to actually do the growing and the growth. While you're being beaten down by all of those planets over the last 2 years, it's kind of like a muscle exercise getting you ready. And now that the planets are moving off of you, it will allow you that breathing space to grow. All right, Leo, we have the camel boy, not the camel toe, the camel boy. Small steps and asking for help. So now remember, this full moon that's coming will be highlighting your midheaven, your career sector. And so if you are starting a new job, Leos, or preparing to enter a new workforce, a different workforce, or something brand new. Small steps, baby steps, expanding on that, and also making sure that you ask for help. All right, Virgos, so you're the 11th house, which is your social circles and friends that will be changing. And you have the Lady of the Mirror, reflection and non-judgment. And this is fabulous. So if you're not familiar with mirror work, anything that comes to you is a reflection of yourself. Like anything that comes to you that triggers you, or even things that you love, it's all a reflection of what we have in here. So if there's something that you hate about somebody, that same thing lives within you. So this is about not judging others because that thing lives within you. And I think that's a good lesson for anybody. So take a good look in the mirror. And also, you know, if you're not liking your friends, there's an aspect of you that lives, there's an aspect of them that lives within you. Okay, Libra, we have the Spiral Dancer, and that you're the 12th house, and I said karma, spirituality, hidden enemies, institutions, psychic abilities, and intuition. This is the Spiral Dancer. It is circuitous root, and perception. This would be, the Spiral Dancer is like a spiraling up or an ascension, but once you clear out all the stuff that is holding you down. So it would be like, you know, the spiraling up to the next level. And you do that by changing your perception of how you're seeing things. It's about becoming more open-minded, open-hearted, to understand and accept more than just your own personal perception. All right, Scorpio, we have the Spirit Whisperer, divine guidance, and higher knowing. So this is perfect for a Scorpio. And that first house, this is about really getting to know yourself and tapping into your inner being, your higher guides, and really getting to know who you are. Listen to the whispers that your heart is always sending you, and don't second guess yourself. And then last but not least, I think, is it last? Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sagittarius, the second house of values. You have the Lady of the Lightning, surprises, sometimes a shock, and total paradigm shift. And that couldn't be more perfect for this lunar eclipse and the upcoming solar eclipse in Sagittarius. There is going to be a huge paradigm shift. It's going to be shocking. There are going to be surprises, and I'm just going to warn you, put your seatbelt on, Sagittariuses, because I think all of us, we really need to. There's going to be some big, huge shifts coming, and they could be painful. And yeah, I think with the Neptune direct, I've been extremely sentimental. I've been really teary. I've been feeling grief that I thought that I got rid of a long time ago, like feeling sadness for, you know, my family that has passed, my animals that have passed, and, you know, they've been gone for a long time. Especially my family has been gone for a long time. It's all bubbling up to the surface. Part of Neptune direct, especially aspecting Uranus and Chiron, we have to allow it to bubble up so that we can have good cries and let it go. And I heard somebody say something really great, that grief is the loudest decibel of the expression of love. So when we're grieving, that's about, you know, as loud as that gets. We have to let that go. It's part of our release for this full moon. Capricorns, third house, communication, short trips, technology, siblings, neighbors. You have the Eagle King, the big picture, and angelic help. All right, so I feel as though for some Capricorn suns, risings, moons, there will be some difficulties coming your way, and you're being asked to call in on the angels to, kind of lighten your burden, so to speak. But it's also about seeing the bigger picture and how these changes that are coming about are really going to lighten your load and make things different so that you can go in a different direction, if you know what I mean. And I love that. I love the Eagle King came through because he's always the shower of the way. All right, Aquarius, fourth house, the home, the family. And this is the word Lord. It's about communication, praise, and possible dishonesty. So improving your communication at home with your loved ones, especially if you've been in lockdown with each other for a long time. But the improvement, which includes listening and not just speaking, of the communication within the home, will improve all of your relationships outside of the home. Pisces, fifth house, creativity, romance, and children. And you have the Shadow Queen. Ooh. This is acquiring knowledge about insecurities and the way you could possibly be manipulating people, or how people are manipulating you. So yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of shadow work, all of us, but Pisces really want you to take a look at that shadow side of yourself. Are you being manipulated? Are you manipulating people to get what you want? And this is also growing in your knowledge to realize that you don't need to do any of those things. You don't need to be insecure. You tap into your intuition. You've got Neptune direct in your sign right now that is turning on the floodgates of intuition. So utilize that and do your shadow work. I think that's all I have. I'm looking for my little magic wand so that I can turn this off, and I don't know where it went. It's gone. It was just there, and oh well. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. Please share it with your friends. I hope I didn't leave anything out. If not, I'm sure it's in the blog. I will be back hopefully next week with more weekly wisdom, more cards for all of you. And I'm going to go take a nap. Got to find my little magic wand. I don't know where it went to. Oh, there it is. I have it. So it turns the camera on and off, so I don't have to putz around like this. And sometimes it doesn't work. We'll see. Until then, I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching this video and for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a great week. Happy full moon blessings. Let go of your crap. Read the card that I wrote on Friday for Facebook and Instagram. Talks about letting go. It's all part of that same theme. Cutting the cords, releasing what no longer serves in our lives. And read my blog, because you'll gain a lot of knowledge and wisdom about everything that's going on. Oh, and yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Have a good one. Bye.